The Trump administration has obviously broken the law several times. That much is obvious. Even Republicans have called them out for a lot of this stuff, including, but not limited to, Donald Trump's very open corruption and profiting off of the office of the presidency. In spite of all of this, the horrific policies, the horrific legislation, the law breaking, the bribery, the open corruption, the Democrats kind of nowhere to be found, right? Oh, sure, there's a few of them here and there. We've had AOC and Bernie out there, Jasmine Crockett kind of holding things down. Cory Booker did his part for a while, but then he turned around and voted for one of Trump's nominees and lost a lot of the goodwill he had. But either way, you have a couple Democrats that are speaking out. But the fact that you can point to the specific Democrats and name them all on one hand, not a good sign for the Democratic Party. And that leads me to my next question, this one from YouTube, from David Hill J4D, who says, why aren't Democrats speaking out about Donald Trump, his minions in Congress, his cabinet not being challenged with how they have violated their oath of office since taking over in Washington, D.C.? They all have gone against the rule of law and the Constitution repeatedly, which violates their oath to protect and defend the Constitution. If these cult members believe this disgraceful behavior follows the Constitution, they are sorely mistaken. I agree with you on that. And your question, of course, where are the Democrats? And therein lies the problem. Right now, within the DNC, there's a lot of infighting. And that alone, which is mostly happening behind the scenes, some of it has been public, the stuff with David Hogg, wanting more, younger people to run for office and get rid of these aging politicians who are quite literally dying in office. Which he's right, by the way, and the party is wrong. There's a lot of turmoil in the actual Democratic Party behind the scenes, and doesn't look like we're going to have any kind of resolution to that anytime soon. So there's one thing. The other thing, of course, is that you have this old guard Democrat, the one that David Hogg wants to get out of office, relying on these old guard Democratic strategists like James Carville, who say, no, just sit back and let the Republicans hang themselves. We don't have to do anything. They'll just do it all. That's crazy. We don't need to be talking about it. They're just stupid enough to ruin themselves. Yeah, you know what? Democrats thought that in 2016 about Donald Trump, too. How'd that work out? They thought that in 2024 about Donald Trump. How'd that work out? The answer is, of course, it didn't. The one time you beat him was when you didn't let him sit there and try to hang himself. Because eventually Donald Trump weasels his way out of everything. Verbal gaffes, past scandals, affairs, things that would ordinarily end the career of any politician from any party, Donald Trump has wriggled out of with ease. All these things that Democrats thought, oh, we don't have to even go after it. The public will see him for who he is. And the public's like, yeah, we don't care. They have to be aggressive. And they're not being aggressive. Most of them are not being aggressive. Again, you had Cory Booker for a brief hot minute, which I still respect Cory Booker. Don't get me wrong about that. You have AOC, you have Bernie, who's technically not a Democrat. You have Jasmine Crockett. You have several other people. Unfortunately, God, Raskin. Raskin has done a phenomenal job. Elizabeth Warren has done a great job. So you do have some people. But none of those people are in leadership. And that's the problem. Leadership is doing nothing. Hakeem Jeffries is doing nothing. Chuck Schumer is doing nothing. Nancy Pelosi is doing nothing. The DNC is doing nothing. And yeah, that is basically not fulfilling your duty to the American people. And it sure as hell isn't endearing you in their hearts for next year's midterms. Democrats have to get out there. They have to speak out. They have to be aggressive. But right now, the leadership of the party seems completely unwilling to do any of that. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.